Still, he is moving as one Kṛṣṇa before his father and mother, Nanda and Yashoda. In the Brahma Samhita also it is said that although Kṛṣṇa is eternally living in Goloka Vrindavan, his transcendental abode, he is present everywhere, even within the atoms. So this is the miracle of devotional service, that even though Kṛṣṇa is unlimited and all-pervading, and he has like unlimited transcendental forms, yet he consents to becoming limited and appearing in this material world in a subordinate role to his devotees. This is fantastic. That Kṛṣṇa is so secure in his transcendental position that he is willing to give up his role as the Supreme Personality of Godhead and appear as the son of his own devotee. So this is very amazing. And when he does so, he actually plays the role of a son, you know? And he's not like, well, I'm the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but I'll just pretend to be their son. No. No, he really feels that he is their son. And when Mother Yashoda becomes angry at him, when he's such a rascal, that he really becomes afraid. This is described in the Damodarashtaka. The Damodarashtaka is a beautiful prayer that's sung in the autumn about Lord Damodar. Damodar means that the Lord allows his mother to tie him up because he's such a bad boy, such a rascal, stealing butter from the gopis and feeding it to the monkeys. So anyway, when Mother Yashoda decided to chastise Kṛṣṇa, Kṛṣṇa was really afraid of her. And this is a special transcendental quality which we'll get into later called mugdha. Mugdha means that Kṛṣṇa actually forgets his supreme position in order to relish these beautiful relationships of love with his devotees. See? So he really feels that he's the son of Yashoda. He really feels that he's the boyfriend of Srimati Radharani. See? He doesn't feel it, well, I'm God and you're my potency, so you better do what I say. You know, he's not like that. Kṛṣṇa's not like that. Kṛṣṇa is very, very sweet, and he manifests his form and mood in complete harmony with the loving feelings of his devotees. He actually becomes under the control of the devotees. And he gives up his supreme position in order to taste this very sweet relationship of love with the devotees. The devotees, they're called the ashraya, the bhakti-ashraya, or the prema-ashraya, means they are the shelter or the reservoir of this prema, or this ecstatic love for Kṛṣṇa. And so Kṛṣṇa, he'll do whatever it takes to relish that ecstatic love. He'll approach the devotee in just the way that the devotee wants to love him. And to facilitate the devotee's devotional service, he'll give up his supreme position. After all, you know, he is constitutionally the Supreme Lord. He's not, there's no possibility that he could ever lose his supreme position. So he doesn't care about it. He's not attached to it. For the sake of these beautiful, loving relationships with his devotees, he's ready to give up his supreme position and accept the subordinate role. This is one of the opulences of the Supreme Lord, one of the inconceivable qualities of the Lord. That he is so attached to this rasa, this beautiful, loving relationship, ecstatic love, that he'll even give up being the Supreme in order to taste it. So, just imagine. 57. Kṛṣṇa's body generates innumerable universes. In the 10th canto, 14th chapter, verse 11 of Srimad Bhagavatam, Lord Brahma says, "My dear Lord, false ego, intelligence, mind, sky, air, fire, water, and earth are the material ingredients of this universe, which can be compared to a gigantic pot. In that gigantic pot, my body is of insignificant measurement. And even though one of the many universes is created by me, innumerable universes are coming and going from the pores of your body, just as atomic particles are seen flickering in the sunlight. I think I am very, very insignificant before you, and I am therefore begging your pardon. Please be merciful towards me. If one takes account of only one universe, he will find so many combinations of wonderful things therein. Because there are innumerable planets, innumerable residences, and places of demigods. The diameter of the universe is 4 billion miles, and it is infested with many unfathomable regions known as patalas, or lower planetary systems. Although Kṛṣṇa is the origin of all this, he can always be seen in Vrindavan exhibiting his inconceivable potencies. So who can adequately worship such an all-powerful Lord, possessed of such inconceivable energy? Kṛṣṇa, his first expansion is Balaram. Balaram appears as Krishna's brother in his Vrindavan pastimes. And then from Balaram expands the Chaturvyuha. Chaturvyuha means Baladev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. And these are the 4 original Vishnu forms. And then from Baladev of the Chaturvyuha expands Nārāyan. And from Nārāyan expands all the spiritual souls, the jivas like ourselves. And this is called Krishna's Tatashta Shakti. Tatashta means in between, the border. Just like on the bank of a river or a lake, you have the water and you have the shore. And then you have an area in between, which is neither the water nor the shore. And this is Tatashta, the border or the phase change. So in this area, this is neither material nor spiritual, but somewhere in between. And this is where Lord Shiva's place is also existing. And then from the body of Lord Nārayan, many, many material universes emerge, like little globes of perspiration floating in weightless space. And each one of these is a complete universe just like ours. And when Srila Prabhupada says the diameter of the universe is 4 billion miles, he's talking about what we would probably call the solar system. The technical word is Brahmanda. The Brahmanda means the central star and the surrounding planets, and then also the subtle material elements in a large covering around the star. We're just now beginning to explore all these things with our spacecraft, and they call it, and the scientists call it the heliopause. And the heliopause is made of plasma, controlled by electromagnetic fields generated by the sun. But who is to say that there are not subtle beings who live in these areas? And many subtle worlds that we can't perceive with our gross senses. We're just beginning to explore these things with material science. But Vedic science have known about them for millions and millions of years. Everything is known. Try to understand. Everything is already known. Its value is understood. Its function and process is completely explained in the Vedas in terms of the human being attaining emancipation from material existence. You see, science tries to create a fictitious entity called the objective observer. But there is no objective observer. Every living entity's consciousness is subjective and proper to that being alone. So, from our point of view, what is the most important thing in life? Is attaining self-realization. Because that's the only way to become free from all the miseries of material existence. Once we attain self-realization, then we're free. So it follows that the value of anything, the ultimate or absolute value of anything in this material world, it has to be measured in terms of its value for self-realization. There's no other measurement that really has any reality. I mean, yes, you can speculate something and you can make some artificial values, some artificial material values. You know, just like if you watch the television, there's so many ads for new cars and new this and new that. But the value of all these things for self-realization is practically zero. Yet it's being presented as this is a necessity. You have to have this. Just like we're staying in this very nice house. It's a very expensive house in a very expensive development. But actually, what's the value?